So hello friends, I got this excellent lens. It is a Nikkor 15mm 1.8, really nice lens. It is the pancake version, and then I got it in really bad condition, and the focusing is not as smooth as one would wish, and then the lens has also some haze on the inside. So what we're going to do is going to disassemble the lens to take a look at the focusing. So we're going to do a complete disassembly of the lens, and then I will make a different video for cleaning the haze, since it is inside the front element. So let's start by disassembling the lens. So we take this rubber tool to remove the front ring, as I'm doing just now. Okay, let's twist it just a bit more. So, and then we're able to remove this element that we're also going to clean, since it's a bit dirty here. Then we find ourselves with these 6 screws. There is one and there is 3 screws which are slightly higher than the others, so these are the ones that we're going to remove first. And then with the 3 screws away, we can remove this element here. And then here, as I told you in the beginning, the lens is a bit greasy, so maybe you can see it. There is traces of grease everywhere. So my opinion is that someone tried to serve this lens and then it put like a ton of grease and then it spread everywhere. Good thing it is not on the diaphragm. So so far so good. So we take out the next 3 screws here. This is not mandatory, this part, but it is better to work like that for the following of the disassembly of the lens. So we remove these 3 screws here, and then we are able to remove the front element here, as you see. So this is also useful if you want to clean the lens. So just remove the front element and then you can access, let me put the front element aside, you can access the center of the lens, and you can come and simply blow if there is any dust in the lens. So here more traces of grease. Clean temporarily. Now we're going to get into the serious things. So we come here, we get to the infinite position here, and now we're going to remove the focusing ring here. And then to do so, there is 3 screws here, and then by removing these 3 screws, so we remove the 3 screws, and then we can pull the focusing ring here, and then here we're about infinity. So what we're going to do, just to make sure of what we're doing, is we're going to mark this position here on the point where there is infinity. So I just make a mark, and then okay, here we're done with the front. Now we have to move to the back of the lens. So this is why I say it is important to remove the front, so we can just lay down the lens easily. Now let me change my screwdriver to something bigger. This is a J0 screwdriver. And then once we have removed the screws, we can take out the bayonet here. Still some traces of grease, so we have a lot of cleaning to do. Then I can remove the aperture ring here, and then we find ourselves with disassembly here. And then what we want to do now is just to remove these two parts here, which are the ones that that forbid actually the helicoil just to rotate freely. So you will see it in a few seconds. Okay, and then take these parts out, and then as you can see, they're rather dirty because of grease, so someone over greased this lens. Once more, a piece with a lot of grease. And then before going further, I'm just going to mark a position here, just to make sure that when I'm going to reassemble the lens, I will go back to the same position. And then here, what we have to do, just to remove, to separate these two elements, is first just to make sure that we don't over rotate this golden ring here. We're going to remove it just after, but by now we just keep it like that. And then we need to make sure that we mark the position where the helicoils are separating, otherwise it's going to be a pain after to reassemble. So I'm just getting a pen, and then okay, it's here. So let me hold this for a second, and then I will mark here this position. It's very hard since we're going to clean that just after thoroughly, so we need to pay attention to the marks. And then we separate this element here. You see there is a lot of grease on it. And then we have this last element here that we're going to remove now. And then to do so, okay, I just need to find the right direction. This was not this direction. And then here once more, we try to pay attention to the location where they separate. So I'm going to mark second point here, this time green, just to indicate the position where they separate with respect to this point here. And then here I have completely disassembled a 50mm 1.8, a pancake version. Now I'm just going to get ready for the clean, so I'm going to grab the cleaning stuff, and then we meet in a few seconds. So friends, I actually did the cleaning already because it was such a big mess. There was so much grease that it would have been painful for me to show you that. I actually have here souvenir, and then more souvenir. So just let me explain to you what I did. It is quite easy, so you don't need to worry about not watching the whole thing. But then what I did, this part here, since it has the glass and the diaphragm that I don't want to bother, I clean it using a tissue, a paper tissue, this one. So what I did, I came here into the slots, I clean and gently until everything was gone. So now the thing is gone. We're going to put new grease just after. Here exactly the same thing. There was a huge amount of grease. So first I did a cleaning using a paper, just a tissue, and then when I was able to remove most of the grease, and then I came with this small vessel, toothbrush, and then I started dropping some lighter fluid. So into the part, I put my parts here, and then I was putting lighter fluid. I was washing with the toothbrush, drying just immediately with the tissue, and then at the end I have the result here. The parts are really clean. I put this ring here already into this part because it is quite a pain just to get it back in position, but again, don't worry about it. It is well, it is actually easy. It only needs just patience. And then I came here, I did a good thing putting here the mark, so I was able to locate the right position to get the screw in. But then just after I just need to start screwing. So, and then the screwing direction is here, is counterclockwise, which is a bit counterintuitive, but then that's the way it is. So and here you go. So we can start actually reassembling the lens. So let me get some grease. Oh. Okay, that was my toolbox closing. So I have this new grease. So this is the grease I use. It is SKF LGLT2. So this is a grease which is used in bearings, and then it has well, it has quite good conditions. I probably will be doing a video explaining why I choose this grease, and then why the difference between the different types of grease. But then this one I have been using it for a few years, and then it has worked and served me well for all those years. So what I'm going to do is just to put just a drop here, just let's say 2, and then let's just come and spread it with a swab. So we're not going to make the main mistake, the same mistake as the previous owner, who put like a ton of grease, and then the lens was just a mess inside. Okay, just put quite a small amount of grease, and then what we need to do now is just to come in position and then do some back and forth motions so the grease is able to spread over the threaded surfaces. So I will repeat this for a few times. So I'm just going to do that off the camera so you don't get bored, and then we meet again for continue assembling the lens. So see you in a few seconds. So I am back. I was able to spread the grease on the inside ring here. Now everything's smooth, and then as you can see too, I was able to put grease inside of the helicoil. I did it as just explained before. So I put some drops, if you can call them drops of grease, and then I spread them uniformly inside the helicoil, as you can see here. Now we just need to put the part that goes here in. So as you remember well, we marked it, the part. So I just need to find the right mark, and then it should come in easily. And then this is it. We were in position, and then the thing we want to make sure here is that we reach the second mark here on the back. That indicates that we are in the right position for the assembly of the lens. So then here we can put back these blocking elements, which are also clean. If you remember, they were rather dirty, so we took care of that too. Now we just need to fix them. I don't tie them immediately because here you need to pay attention that they don't create friction with the moving part. Yeah, I don't think my focus is great. So okay, I was telling you, you have to pay attention not to tie them too much, otherwise they're going to chafe with the moving part, and then they're going to create some friction, which is going to make your focusing not as smooth as you would like. So what I usually do for these kind of things is, well, here's a bit difficult actually, so I actually move the lens a bit. When these things loose, so they put themselves in kind of natural position for them, and then they don't they don't chafe to the helicoil, and then we get very smooth focus. Okay, so far so good. As you have seen, we're really far into the reassembly of the lens. Now we can put the aperture ring here, so it has to get here into this part here. This is not really difficult, so we check it is doing what it is supposed to. Then we can put the bayonet, so we have this part here which is protruding, and then it goes into the hole here, which is intended to that purpose. Now we look for the holes and get the screws. Okay, so here we're almost done. So the next thing we have to do is just to calibrate the infinity. So we're pretty good with the marks we did, so we don't need to worry much about it. But anyway, this is something that needs to be checked. And then the way I do it is extremely simple. So what I do is I obviously assemble the optical parts of the lens. Just let me get the right screws. I didn't have the right screwdriver ready. So, and then I fix this element here. So I also make progress into the reassembly of the lens. And then here, this is the part of the calibration. So what I do is I have a camera here with a tripod mount. Then what I do is I take the lens, I put it into the camera this way, as if I was putting a complete lens. So I put it in the tripod, I focus for something far away. So here, for example, in the back of my house is just some mountains. And then I point the camera to the mountains, and then I start checking at those mountains, and then by moving here, this ring here, with a tweezer or screwdriver, I am able to get the infinite position right. Once this is done, I'm just going to do that just after. So let me put the camera aside. So once this is done, you come and then you finish the assembly of your lens. So you get the focusing ring here, which is near the right position. You come to the infinity, you just have fix. Then you put the 3 screws that will allow you to lock it to the moving ring of the lens. With that, you're near done. So the focusing, I still need to make sure one of those bars are aligned, because I can feel some chafing. Otherwise it is really good, rather smooth. Then we put the last element, which is not in the right direction. We put the 3 final screws really quick. Front element that I probably need to clean. We clean the lens, and this is how you should service a Nikkor 15mm 1.8 pancake. Okay, this is all I wanted to show you today. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.